You've been lied to. You were told that once you get the job, the house, the money, the partner, then you'll finally feel peace. But here you are, successful on the outside, but secretly exhausted on the inside. Why? Because your mind never stops running. It replays the past. It fears the future. It whispers, "You're not there yet. You're not enough yet." But here's the truth. You don't need more. You need less. Less noise. Less chasing. What you truly seek isn't out there. It's already within you. And it begins the moment you stop worrying. Napoleon Hill once said, "Worry is a form of sustained fear caused by indecision." But when you choose to discipline your mind, align your body, and live with presence, worry dissolves, and that's when life finally starts working. In the next few chapters, you'll learn how to break free from the mental prison you didn't even know you were in. From Shaolin wisdom to Napoleon Hill's cosmic laws, this message will train you to stop worrying, take back your energy, and reclaim your life. Let's begin. Worry doesn't scream. It whispers. It doesn't arrive as a monster. It disguises itself as being responsible. It convinces you that if you're not constantly thinking about what could go wrong, something will go wrong. So you stay on high alert, tired, anxious, distracted. But here's what few people realize. Worry is not preparation. Worry is the misuse of imagination. It's like carrying an umbrella every day. Even when the forecast is clear, you're always bracing for the storm, so you never get to enjoy the sunshine. Napoleon Hill called worry one of the 6 basic fears, right up there with poverty, criticism, ill health, loss of love, old age, and death. And he warned, worry is a form of sustained fear caused by indecision. That means the root of worry isn't the problem itself. It's our inability to choose what we'll do about it. You worry because you haven't yet decided, shall I act? Shall I wait? Shall I speak up? Shall I stay quiet? That endless loop of hesitation is where anxiety breeds. You replay the past. You project the future. And you completely miss the power of now, the hidden cost of worry. Let's be brutally honest. Worry doesn't protect you. It paralyzes you. It drains your energy, dulls your focus, hijacks your clarity. You can't build your vision while mentally rehearsing disaster. Think about it. Have you ever solved a real problem by worrying? Did worrying about money ever make you richer? Did worrying about a relationship ever make it more loving? Did worrying about your health ever heal you? Of course not. If anything, worry magnifies the problem and reduces your capacity to respond. You cannot worry and create at the same time. You cannot panic and perform. You cannot fear and lead. So the first step to taking your power back is not learning what to do. It's unlearning what not to do. You must declare war on worry. You were not born to be a prisoner of thought. The Shaolin monks teach the mind can be your best friend or your worst enemy. Your thoughts are tools. They were meant to serve you, not enslave you. But most people live like servants to their own thoughts. If the mind says, you're not good enough, they believe it. If the mind says, what if you fail? They stop trying. You must awaken to this truth. You are not your thoughts. There is a part of you deeper than the mental chatter. It's the observer, the stillness, the present awareness behind the noise. And when you anchor yourself there, you become unshakable, unbothered, free. The power of presence. Worry only exists in time, not in the present moment. It lives in two places: the past you can't change, and the future that hasn't happened. But when you're truly present right here, right now, worry dissolves. Why? Because in the present, you're not imagining problems. You're simply being, breathing, aware. Napoleon Hill wrote, "No man can succeed in a great undertaking without belief in himself. But belief is only active in the now, not in the regret of yesterday, not in the fear of tomorrow. Presence is the portal to power. When you work, work. When you rest, rest. When you speak, speak. When you listen, listen. Don't split your life in half by always being somewhere else. Stop worrying equals start living. Imagine what you could build, fix, or transform if you channeled the energy you spend worrying into action. Instead of fearing what might happen, you take command of what will happen. You stop asking what if and start asking what's next. You stop waiting for clarity and start creating it through motion. This is what Napoleon Hill meant by definiteness of decision. And this is what the monks meant by discipline of attention. Both point to the same truth. You are the master of your reality when you master your mind. So let's end this chapter with a personal declaration. Say it with intention. Out loud, if you can. I am done giving worry free rent in my mind. I release the fear of what I cannot control. I take action where I can. I return to presence again and again. My energy is too valuable to waste on imaginary problems. I choose clarity. I choose calm. I choose command. Because when you stop worrying, that's when life starts working. Stop right now. Where are you? Not where you were yesterday. Not where you hope to be next year. But right now, this very breath, because that's all you ever really have. You don't live in the past. You remember it. You don't live in the future. You imagine it. The only place life is truly happening is here. Now, Napoleon Hill once said, now is the time. Put off nothing that can be done now. For procrastination is the enemy of success. But procrastination isn't just about delaying action. It's also about delaying presence. And when you delay presence, you delay your power. The flow of energy is always now, you see. Your energy, your life force is like a river. It moves, it flows, it fuels, but the moment your thoughts wander into what if or if only, you start to dam that river. You interrupt the current. You clog your inner power with past regrets or future fears. The Shaolin masters understood this deeply. Their entire practice was designed to bring the body, breath, and mind into one moment, total synchronicity. When you eat, you eat. When you train, you train. When you sleep, you sleep. That's not simplicity. That's spiritual mastery. Most people today, they eat and scroll. They work and worry. They rest and replay conversations from 3 days ago. No wonder they're exhausted. It's not life that's tiring them out. It's the mental fragmentation. How to return to the now even in chaos. It doesn't matter how wild your day is, how busy your mind feels, or how many tabs are open in your head. You can always return to now. Here's how. 1, use the body as a gateway. Your body never leaves the present. It can't time travel. So when your mind races, bring attention to your breath. Feel your feet on the ground. Notice your heartbeat. These are anchors not in theory, but in reality. 2, catch the mind in the act. The moment you catch yourself replaying an old conversation or projecting fear into the future, pause, smile, say to yourself, "Ah, there you are again." Don't fight the thought, just see it and return. Return to this moment. Return to what is. 3. Speak a present tense command. Try this. I am here. I am safe. I am focused. This might sound too simple, but it's not. You're not saying it for magic. You're saying it to activate awareness, to take back the wheel from the autopilot. Remember, you don't need more time. You need to own the time you're already in. Presence multiplies results. Most people think success is about more hours, more hustle, more multitasking, but the truth is clarity beats chaos every time. One focused hour in deep presence can outproduce 10 hours of distracted effort. That's why top athletes, CEOs, artists, they all cultivate presence. It's not a luxury. It's a requirement. Napoleon Hill called this concentration of effort. In Think and Grow Rich, he said, "Success requires no apologies. Failure permits no alibis. But that success comes to the man or woman who can channel every ounce of thought into the task at hand without leakage. No mental drain, no emotional confusion, just locked-in intensity here." Now, the new wealth, peace of mind. Pause and ask yourself this. What's the point of money? Success. Recognition if you can't be present enough to enjoy it. If your mind is always somewhere else. What are you really building? True wealth isn't just income. It's not just assets. It's presence. It's waking up, feeling calm, focused, and ready. It's doing your work without resentment. It's eating a meal without noise in your head. It's going to sleep without guilt or anxiety. That kind of wealth only lives in the present. Final thought. You don't need to become present. You are present. You've just forgotten. You've let thoughts pull a curtain over your awareness. But every time you remember, you win. Every time you return to the breath, you win. Every time you resist the pull of worry, you win. Because life only works when you're in it. Not past it, not ahead of it, but in it, here. Now, let me ask you something most people never stop to consider. Are you using your mind, or is your mind using you? Because here's the raw truth. The greatest prisons in the world don't have bars or guards. They live in your head. And millions of people, ambitious people, smart people wake up every day locked inside thoughts that do not serve them. They replay past mistakes. They panic over future possibilities. They let impulses, urges, and distractions hijack their decisions. That is not thinking. That is mental slavery. The mind friend or enemy Napoleon Hill said it clearly. You either control your mind or it controls you. There is no halfway compromise. Your mind is a powerful servant but a dangerous master. And the problem is, we've been trained since birth to identify with our thoughts. You feel angry, and you say, "I am angry." You feel afraid, and you say, "I'm scared." But those are not who you are. They are mental weather patterns passing through your consciousness. The Shaolin monks have a beautiful way of describing it. The mind is like water. When disturbed, it's hard to see. When calm, it reflects truth. But most people live in a storm. Their mind races from one craving to the next food. Validation, achievement, stimulation, never stopping, never settling, never seeing clearly. And then they wonder why they feel exhausted, lost, or out of control. They don't have a life, they have a loop. A loop run by a mind they never learned to master. You must learn to command it. Here's the truth. No one teaches in school your thoughts are not facts. Just because a thought enters your mind doesn't mean it's true, helpful, or worth listening to. Hill taught that the secret to success lies in definiteness of purpose. But how can you pursue any purpose with power if your mind is constantly pulling you in every direction? One moment you're focused, the next you're distracted. One day you believe in yourself, the next you doubt everything. One month you're consistent, the next you're starting over again. That's not failure. That's a lack of mental leadership. And just like a wild horse left untamed, your mind will run you straight into chaos if you don't take the reins. So how do you reclaim control? Let me show you the 3 pillars of mental mastery. To free yourself from mental slavery, you must train your mind the way a warrior trains his body with discipline, structure, and intention. Here are 3 principles you must live by. 1, thought is a tool, not a truth. Every thought that enters your mind must be questioned. Is this true? Is this useful? Is this aligned with who I'm becoming? If the answer is no, you discard it. You do not negotiate with lies. You do not babysit doubt. You do not entertain fear unless it protects, not paralyzes. You are the gatekeeper of your inner world, no one else. 2, emotion is energy, not identity. Feelings will rise. That's natural. But you must learn to feel them without feeding them. Just because you feel lazy doesn't mean you are lazy. Just because you feel fear doesn't mean you should stop. Just because you feel unmotivated doesn't mean you wait. Emotions are signals, not stop signs. And once you stop reacting to every emotional spike, you start to move with intention, not impulse. 3, repetition rewires reality. Here's the secret. Hill knew, and modern neuroscience confirms, the mind becomes what you repeat. Repeat worry, you become anxious. Repeat doubt, you become timid. Repeat empowerment, clarity, decisiveness, you become dangerous in the best way. So stop waiting for motivation. Start retraining your brain. Say it with me. I am the master of my mind. My thoughts serve me. My emotions obey me. My actions align with my vision. Every time you say that, every time you declare it, you are cutting the chains of mental slavery, one link at a time. Final thought freedom isn't just external. It's not just about quitting your job or earning passive income. True freedom begins when your mind obeys your will. You were never meant to live as a prisoner to thoughts you didn't choose. You were meant to direct them, decide them, dominate them. Because when the mind is trained, everything else follows: clarity, discipline, confidence, action, momentum, purpose. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of choice. So choose now. Be the master, not the slave. It sounds like a paradox, doesn't it? Discipline creates freedom. Most people think freedom means doing what you want, when you want, how you want. But that version of freedom is a trap. It's not freedom, it's chaos, disguised as choice. True freedom is not the ability to give in to every impulse. True freedom is the power to choose what matters and ignore what doesn't. And that power comes from structure. Why structure beats spontaneity? Napoleon Hill said, "The person who moves with definiteness of purpose marches straight ahead, regardless of circumstances." That structure. Definiteness of purpose is the internal compass. Discipline is the path. Structure is the guardrail that keeps you from drifting. Think of a train. Without rails, it goes nowhere. With rails, it becomes unstoppable. You want to be unstoppable. Then you need rails. Without a daily rhythm, your energy gets scattered. Without fixed commitments, your willpower gets wasted. Without mental boundaries, distraction runs your life. So, how do you build structure? You design your day the same way an architect designs a house with precision, clarity, and purpose. The daily architecture of high performers. Here's what you'll find behind every successful, fulfilled, focused individual. A clear structure. Let's break it down. 1, fixed wake-up time. You don't ask, do I feel like getting up? You get up because that's who you are. Discipline begins in the morning. 2, morning ritual. You don't check your phone first. You check your mind. You train your thoughts before the world trains them for you. Whether it's journaling, prayer, meditation, exercise. What matters is intentionality. 3, blocked focus time. No multitasking. No jumping from task to task. You protect blocks of time like sacred ground, and you move with intensity inside them. 4, sacred boundaries. When it's time to eat, you eat. When it's time to rest, you rest. When it's time to execute, you go all in. You don't mix. You don't blur lines. 5, night shutdown. You end the day with awareness, not exhaustion. You review, reflect, reset. You prepare tomorrow before it begins. The Shaolin Way structure as spiritual strength. In the Shaolin tradition, everything has rhythm. You wake at 5, you eat at 8, and 6. You train at fixed hours, you sleep at fixed hours, and in the beginning, it feels like prison. But after a while, something incredible happens. You stop fighting the routine, your mind quiets, your body aligns, and suddenly you're free. Why? Because you're no longer at the mercy of cravings, moods, or impulses. You don't need your feelings to agree with you. You act from principle, not preference. This is the real power behind structure. It's not just for productivity, it's for inner peace. Hill's wisdom, cosmic habit force. In Action, Napoleon Hill wrote about the law of cosmic habit force, the invisible force that turns repeated action into automatic identity. Structure isn't just about routine, it's about identity, reinforcement. Every time you honor your system, you're declaring, I am the kind of person who follows through. I live with order, focus, and intention. My days are not random. They are designed, and over time, your subconscious begins to believe you. That belief becomes your behavior, and that behavior becomes your results. Final thought, do not fear structure. Structure is not restriction, it is liberation. The undisciplined man wakes up overwhelmed, distracted, reactive. The disciplined man wakes up already winning. So don't ask, how do I get more motivated? Ask instead, what structure would a successful version of me already live by? Then build it brick by brick, hour by hour, habit by habit. Because the life you want will not be built in chaos. Let me ask you something personal. Have you ever chased something only to lose interest the moment you had it? That's because pleasure fades. But discipline compounds. Most people live like addicts, addicted to comfort. addicted to likes, addicted to sugar, noise, validation, and instant results. But successful people live like investors. They delay the reward because they understand the longer you wait with intention, the greater the return, the marshmallow test of life. You've heard of the famous marshmallow experiment. Right, a child is given a choice. Eat one marshmallow now, or wait 15 minutes and get two. What they found was stunning. Years later, the kids who waited had higher SAT scores, better health, more stable relationships, and significantly greater success in life. Why? Because they mastered one principle: do not trade what you want most for what you want right now. What Hill called the most difficult habit, Napoleon Hill warned that one of the greatest obstacles to success is the inability to discipline emotion, especially the emotion that screams, "I want it now." He called this lack of emotional control one of the root causes of failure. Because without emotional maturity, you trade your future for your feelings. So how do you master delayed gratification? The 3 keys to delay without deprivation. 1, link the wait to a vision. You don't delay gratification just to suffer. You delay it because you see something bigger: a better body, a growing bank account, a stronger business, a legacy that outlives you. Every time you resist an urge, whisper this to yourself: I'm not giving it up. I'm trading it up. 2, create friction around impulse. Make bad choices harder. Want to stop scrolling? Delete the apps. Want to stop eating junk? Don't keep it in the house. Want to wake up earlier? Put the phone across the room. Success is rarely about superhuman willpower. It's about environmental design. 3, train in micro moments. Every small act of discipline is a rep. Delay the coffee for 10 more minutes. Wait 1 more hour to reply to that text. Resist 1 more impulse to check your notifications. These moments stack. They train your brain to pause, and that pause is where freedom lives. Shaolin wisdom: discipline brings peace. In the Shaolin tradition, monks eat only 3 times a day, no snacks, no exceptions. At first, they feel hunger, restlessness, frustration. But after a while, they feel free because they realize hunger is not pain, it's just sensation. And when you stop reacting to every sensation, your mind becomes still. Now imagine taking that same power and applying it to your finances, your goals, your emotions, your future. Suddenly, you're no longer pulled in 10 directions. You become the master, not the slave. Hill's principle of time. Investment. Napoleon Hill believed that time is the most valuable currency, and every second you waste chasing short-term pleasure is a second you steal from your future self. He wrote, "The person who is not master of himself can never be master of others." Self-mastery begins with the willingness to wait to react, wait to indulge, wait to succeed the right way. This is what separates the average from the unstoppable. Final word. Every time you choose later over now, you're not just resisting, you're building focus, you're building stamina, you're building character, and most importantly, you're building a life that lasts. So next time your mind screams, "I want it now," smile, because now you know what it means. It means you've entered the battlefield, and every time you delay, you win. Let me tell you a truth few people ever learn. You are not tired because of your work. You're tired because your mind won't stop working. It spends all day replaying yesterday, predicting tomorrow, judging everything in between. Most people don't live life. They live in loops, mental loops. And the more they think, the less they live. Napoleon Hill, Control Your Thoughts or Be Controlled. Hill wrote, "The mind is like a garden. If you don't plant flowers, weeds will grow automatically." What are the weeds? Worry, fear, doubt, overthinking, regret, and you don't remove them by force. You remove them by replacing them with present awareness. Because presence isn't passive. Presence is power. The Shaolin secret: you are always present, you just don't know it. In the Shaolin tradition, they teach something profound. You are always in the present. You just don't realize it because thought is covering your perception. Let that sink in. You don't need to reach presence. You need to remove what's blocking it. And what blocks it? Mental noise. The endless internal narration. You're eating, but your mind is at work. You're working, but your mind is already at dinner. You're lying in bed, but your brain is replaying 2016. No wonder people feel lost. They're never truly here. Build the muscle of presence. Here's the truth. Presence is a skill. It can be trained like a muscle. Start with this. 1. When you eat, just eat. Feel the texture. Chef slowly. Don't scroll. Don't plan. Just eat. 2. When you walk, just walk. Feel your feet hit the ground. Notice the breeze. Listen to the world. 3. When you work, just work. No multitasking. No distractions. One task. One breath. One goal. Every time you do this, you train your brain to stay, not wander, not react, stay. And over time, this creates clarity that cuts through confusion like a sword through fog. Presence and sleep. Why you wake up tired. Have you ever gone to bed and woken up still exhausted? It wasn't the sleep that failed you. It was your mind that never stopped. You slept, but your mind kept calculating, planning, worrying, analyzing. So what's the fix? Presence. Wind down your mind before your body. Shut off screens. Breathe deeply. Do nothing but listen to silence. Feel your breath. Anchor your attention to the moment. When the mind quiets, the body repairs. When the mind rests, the soul restores. The loop that must be broken modern. Life has created a paradox. You're everywhere, but never truly anywhere. You eat while working. You scroll while talking. You worry while relaxing. This split attention creates inner conflict, and conflict steals your energy. Presence aligns your mind and body into oneness. Napoleon Hill called this harmony between thought and action the foundation of all success. When your thoughts and your actions point in the same direction, your energy becomes laser focused. That's when you move mountains. Practice the one-word anchor. Here's a simple practice. Anytime you feel overwhelmed, say this one word. Now, say it out loud. Feel it in your body. Let it pull you back. Again, now, and again, now. This tiny habit pulls your awareness back to center, where your true power lives. Final thought. Silence is not the absence of noise. It's the absence of mental clutter. You don't need to go on a retreat. You don't need to meditate in a cave. You don't need to escape your life. You just need to come home to this moment. Because in this moment, there's no fear, no regret, no pressure, only peace. And in that peace, You rediscover yourself. Most people think freedom means doing what you want, whenever you want, with whomever you want. But that's not freedom. That's slavery to impulse. The truth, real freedom, is doing what is right, even when every part of you wants to do what is easy. That's the paradox most never understand. Discipline is the key to freedom. Napoleon Hill, false freedom versus true freedom. Let's break this down. False freedom says eat when I want, sleep when I want, spend when I want. True freedom says I choose when to eat, I choose when to rest, I control where my energy and money go. False freedom is ruled by feelings. True freedom is ruled by principle. False freedom leads to chaos. True freedom leads to mastery. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. Just because something feels good doesn't mean it serves you. The monk's Schedule Y structure creates freedom. In Shaolin practice, everything has its time. Wake up at 5:00 a.m. Eat at 8:00. Ealing and 6:00. Train twice a day. Sleep by 9:00 p.m. There's no negotiation, no exceptions, no cheat days. Why? Because structure quiets the mind. When you stop asking, what should I do next? You conserve mental energy. You focus. You act. The result, you become free from internal conflict. That's what most people don't realize. Discipline doesn't trap you. It liberates you from your own chaos. The power of saying no. Every time you resist temptation, you tell your mind, I'm in control. You work for me now. That moment you say no to the cookie, to the laziness, to the gossip, to the distraction. You gain mental leverage. Each small act of self-restraint builds identity power. It whispers to your subconscious, I am disciplined, I am intentional, I live by design, not desire. And that self-image, it changes everything. From slavery to strength, let's be honest. If you can't say no to junk food, you're not free. If you can't stop scrolling, you're not free. If you can't stay loyal in a relationship, you're not free. If your emotions dictate your actions, you're not free. Freedom without control leads to destruction. But freedom with control leads to greatness. Napoleon Hill warned about this in Outwitting the Devil. The devil doesn't need to destroy you. He just needs to make you drift unstructured, undisciplined, distracted. The illusion of more options. Modern society worships choice, unlimited food delivery, thousands of television shows, millions of social media profiles. But too many options create anxiety, and too much access leads to addiction. The solution isn't more options. The solution is clear principles. Choose a path, stick to it. Simplify your life, and you'll magnify your power. Practice your non-negotiables. Want to build real freedom? Start here. 1. Pick 3 non-negociable habits. Wake-up time, workout time, night routine. 2. Guard them like your life depends on it, because it does. 3. Track it. Keep score. Celebrate wins. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you become more mentally free. Final thought. The man who can master his mind can master his time, his habits, his energy, his destiny. You don't need permission from the world to be free. You need a decision from within. Until you conquer yourself, you cannot conquer anything else. Napoleon Hill. So, start now. Not tomorrow. Not when life calms down. Now, Because real freedom doesn't begin outside you. It begins the moment you say, I'm the master now. You've been taught to control everything. Control your time. Control your goals. Control your image. Control the outcome. But what if I told you that your obsession with control is exactly what's stopping your life from flowing? Control is a form of fear. Most people don't control because they're confident. They control because they're scared. Scared they'll fail. Scared they'll lose. Scared they'll be judged. So they try to force results. They micromanage the universe. They clench their fists around the unknown. But here's the truth. What you cling to controls you. What you release flows through you. The Paradox of Power, Napoleon Hill wrote in Think and Grow, rich faith is the only known antidote for failure. And faith, my friend, is letting go of what you can't see, but trusting it's working. Let go of needing to know the how. Let go of needing to control every detail. Let go of needing the timeline to go your way. Your job is not to control outcomes. Your job is to prepare yourself to receive them. The danger of clutching too tightly. Think about this. You plant a seed, you water it. But if you keep digging it up to check if it's growing, you'll kill it. That's what many do with their goals. They force. They doubt. They interfere. But true success comes when you release the seed into the soil of faith and trust the process. Discipline plants the seed. Faith lets it grow. You can't rush divine timing. Some breakthroughs don't come when you want them. They come when you're ready. And being ready doesn't mean working harder. It means aligning deeper. It means trusting that your preparation is enough. Trusting that the right people will arrive. Trusting that delay is not denial. Life is not a vending machine. You don't insert effort and instantly receive a reward. Sometimes the reward is who you become while you wait. The power of surrender. To surrender doesn't mean giving up. It means giving in to the rhythm of something higher. It means saying, I've done my part. Now I trust life to do its part. This is what elite athletes, spiritual leaders, and wise entrepreneurs have in common. They plan, they prepare, but they don't panic. They know tension blocks power and fear chokes flow. So they move with calm certainty, not desperate control. Retrain your mind from force to flow when things don't go your way. Try this. 1, pause. Don't react. Just observe. 2, breathe. Deeply. Slowly. Intentionally. 3, reframe. Ask what if this delay is a setup for something better. 4, affirm. Say everything is unfolding for my highest good. I don't chase, I attract. 5, act lightly. Do what's in your control and leave the rest to the current of life. The law of rhythm nature teaches us this truth every day. The sun rises and sets, you don't force it. The seasons change, you don't manage them. The tides come and go, you don't schedule them. So why not learn to trust the rhythm of your own life? There's a time to hustle, and there's a time to let go. The law of rhythm nature teaches us this truth every day. The sun rises and sets, you don't force it. The seasons change, you don't manage them. The tides come and go, you don't schedule them. So why not learn to trust the rhythm of your own life? There's a time to hustle, and there's a time to let go. Final insight. Most people try to succeed by holding on tighter, but the great ones, they rise by learning when to release. They let go of perfection, dead timelines, ego-based expectations, and in that letting go, They finally receive what they were chasing all along. Because when you stop forcing life, life starts working. Your only limitations are the ones you set up in your own mind. Napoleon Hill. So drop the illusion of control and step into the freedom of alignment. Everything you want is already on its way. But it can only arrive when your hands are open to receive. In a world that worships more hustle, more noise, more apps, tabs, goals, tasks. The most powerful people you'll ever meet are doing the opposite. They are simplifying, they're cutting out the noise, they are protecting their peace. And because of that, they're amplifying their results. Complexity is the enemy of execution. Let's be honest. It's not that you don't have enough time, it's that your mind is too crowded to focus. You're chasing 10 goals, comparing yourself to 20 people, and saying yes to everything. But Napoleon Hill said it best, a definite purpose backed by definite plans gives you definite results. When you focus on one major purpose, you multiply your power. When you scatter your attention, you divide your results. Why most people stay average? Here's the harsh truth. Average people are overwhelmed. Great people are clear. Average people chase opportunities. Great people create a system. Average people ask what else. Great people ask what matters most. When your life is too complicated, you don't move, you spin. You confuse motion with progress. You stay busy, but you never break through. The power of deliberate simplicity. Simplicity is not laziness. It's mastery. It's the ability to strip away what doesn't matter so you can focus on what does. It means fewer priorities, tighter routines, more boundaries. Les émotionnels noirs. Think about this. A laser is just light-focused. Your mind, when simplified, becomes unstoppable. Clean thinking, clear results. Your outer world mirrors your inner world. A cluttered room reflects a cluttered mind. A busy calendar often hides indecisiveness. Constant notifications, proof you're letting the world think for you. The solution isn't to try harder, it's to clean house. Step 1, eliminate distractions ruthlessly. Step 2, build a routine that supports your energy. Step 3, make space mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Your next breakthrough won't come from adding more. It will come from removing the unnecessary. The cosmic habit force loves. Simplicity Hill taught about the cosmic habit force, the invisible law that makes your habits automatic over time. But here's what most miss. This universal law doesn't support chaos. It supports rhythm, pattern, and clarity. When your life becomes predictable in the right ways, your results compound without resistance. That's why the world's most successful people eat similar meals, wear similar clothes, follow simple routines. They don't waste energy on decisions that don't matter. They save that energy for the decisions that move mountains. Example, the mental diet of high performers. Try this starting tomorrow. Limit phone use before noon. Pick one goal to win the day and do it first. Journal 3 things to let go of today. Distractions, worries, regrets. You'll be shocked how powerful you become when you declutter your brain. Because power doesn't come from doing more, it comes from doing less better. What you focus on expands. Every thought is a seed. If you plant 100 seeds at once in one pot, they die. But if you plant one powerful seed, nurture it daily, protect it from weeds, it becomes a mighty tree. So the question is, what thought are you planting today? What distractions are you finally willing to cut out? Final insight: simplicity is not the absence of ambition, it's the weapon of the wise. The goal is not to do everything. The goal is to do what matters with full intensity. Let go of busy. Embrace clarity. And watch how fast your life accelerates. Because once you simplify, you amplify. What if I told you that everything you're chasing is already here? That the power you seek, the peace you crave, the clarity you're desperate for is not in your future. And it's certainly not buried in your past. It's right now. But most people miss it because they've been hypnotized by a lie: I'll be happy when I get the job. When I reach the goal, when I fix what's broken, when I'm finally enough. This lie is a trap. It keeps you in a perpetual loop of delay, never fully living, always waiting. Napoleon Hill said it clearly: if you cannot do great things, do small things in a great way. And there's no greater place to begin than this moment. Why the present moment is so hard to access. The mind loves to time travel. It replays past mistakes like a broken record. It fantasizes about a future that hasn't happened yet. It fixates on everything except what's actually happening now. This is no accident. The ego thrives on the illusion of control. And time is its favorite tool. It says, if I can just plan enough, worry enough, prepare enough, maybe I won't fail. But this overthinking becomes mental quicksand. The more you try to figure it all out, the more stuck you feel. And so you live everywhere except here. But here's the truth, that high performers, spiritual masters, and thinkers like Hill understood: you can only act now. You can only create now. You can only win now. Presence isn't passive. Its power being present doesn't mean sitting in silence doing nothing. It means engaging fully with what you're doing. It means giving your whole self to this moment, not just your body, but your attention, your energy, your soul. Whether you're writing an email, practicing your craft, sitting with your child, eating your meal, be in it. That's presence. And when you practice presence daily, you become a different person. Sharper, calmer, more confident, more magnetic. You stop wasting energy on what you can't change and start pouring it into what you can. The science why presence builds power. Modern neuroscience confirms what ancient philosophy has taught for centuries. When you're present, your brain enters flow. In flow, your prefrontal cortex, the overthinking part, quiets down. You stop second-guessing, you stop judging, and you just do. This is the zone where elite athletes dominate, where writers craft their best work, and where innovators create billion-dollar ideas. The gateway to this state is not hustle, it's presence. Clear the clutter. Come back to center to become present. You must first disengage from what doesn't serve. Start small. Silence the phone for 2 hours a day. Take 10 conscious breaths before any big task. While walking, just walk. While eating, just eat. While listening, just listen. These small disciplines create large awakenings, and as you return to the moment more often, you'll begin to notice something miraculous. You stop waiting for life to start because you realize it already has. Freedom is now. You're not free when you reach your goal. You're free when your mind stops dragging you into worry and regret. When you can sit still and steady and say, this is enough, I am enough. let's move forward. That is the beginning of power. That is the return of self. That is the birth of mastery, final insight, everything you want to feel peace. Freedom, confidence, love. Success is not a destination. It's a state of being. And the door to that state is right here, right now. It opens when you stop chasing and start choosing to be here. The time will never be just right. Hill reminds us, start where you stand. So take a deep breath. Feel your feet on the ground. Feel your heartbeat. Feel this moment. This isn't just another chapter. This is your new beginning. And it starts now. You've heard the truth. Not just words, but a message your soul has been waiting for. Because deep down, you've always known it. You were not born to be a slave to your mind. You were born to be its master. You were not meant to live in delay, in doubt, in fear. You were meant to live fully. Here, now, and rise. Right now, you have a choice. Not tomorrow, not someday. Right now, you can go back to scrolling, thinking, waiting, or you can decide from this moment forward. I live awake. You can reclaim your power. You can discipline your mind. You can create a life built on presence, purpose, and personal freedom. Because success does not start with a bank account, a title, or a lucky break. Success starts with you, and you start now. If this message awakens something inside you, don't let it fade. Hit like to affirm your commitment. Share this video with someone who needs to break free. Subscribe